G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel Bonsai Works. I'm David. These are some very large shimpaku junipers. Now if you've seen my channel for a while, I've done demonstrations in the past on shimpaku juniper, and I tell a story of how I started propagating. These two trees, there's one here and one at the back, were the two trees I found that I started propagating a lot of my material from shimpaku. Propagation mainly as air layering of these trees. I've been doing it for many years on these two trees, letting them grow and recover, and then start air layering again and again and again. Sometimes I put bends and twists in them if I'm organized and grow them on for a year, but sometimes they're just straight and I just air layer them off. Today it's early spring here in Melbourne. Best time to do it from in my experiments. If I do it now, which is early September, I'm able to take them off in December. So September to December, three months, maybe 4 months, maybe into January if I'm let it go a bit longer. But within a few months, you got air laid shimpaku stock to take off the parent tree. Now, identifying where to take air layers. I'll move this tree for now, and I'll have a look at the other one. So this guy. This guy has pretty much, it's a little bit weak on this side of the tree, so I'm not touching obviously that side. Must have taken air layers off that in the past. I think I used thread grass onto another piece of stock, but it's got some good strong growth here. It's got a couple of nice big strong. There's like almost two branches from one point, so identify quickly. Nice healthy growth. This point here, there's two branches. I might do a twin trunk. Or create something that starts at the base. So that's one air layer. And then I found this other bit of strong growth here. Also has a small trunk here and a larger trunk here. So I'll air layer there at that point as well. The rest of the tree needs some recovery. So really I can only get two air layers off that tree. I just want to keep some healthy branches on this so the tree can keep growing. Probably needs a rest for a couple of years to really push growth. Don't repot, don't do anything, just feed it and give it lots of sun. Let it grow, keep air layering. Keep air layering. That's how I do it with this piece of material. So there's two on this we'll be doing today. So this tree I gave a rest last year, and you can see how much healthy growth there is on this. Really nice, really full growth. It's really nice, really compact growth, really healthy. You can see the nice whips everywhere. Got some lower down branches. This one has a lot to choose from. Lots of air layers. I think I'm going to take a big one here. It's a decent sized trunk, maybe thick as my pinky. A bit thicker. That's quite thick for me. But yeah, thick as my pinky. For there, that's a nice one. They're really healthy. There's some other good ones in here. There's some good ones too, maybe two or three there. They're predominantly the ones I'm going to take. There's about three that I'm going to do now. And just looking through, probably maybe four. Maybe this is about four or so. I'm going to try and leave some of these ones down here so they can grow up to be the next lots of leaders. I've taken so many off the middle of this tree. There's all these cuts here that I've taken off over the years. So many branches. So really the middle of the tree has been really hacked down, and I've only got this one branch now as a new leader in a way to grow and LA that in the future. So I've got to keep doing it, keep mixing it up, keep going where I want to go with air layering. So now I'm going to air layer. And I'm sure you've seen many of my videos on air layers. Search air layer and you'll find heaps of them. But again, I'll take you through at least one so you can see how it's done. Okay, I've chosen this larger one because it's a bit easier to see, especially into here, how I'm going to do it. So I will always get a nice sharp knife, grafting knife I use in this case, and I will ring bark the branch. So I always mark out where I'm going to have the top part of the cut. That top part will be where the roots will grow from. So I ring bark it all the way around. Careful of your fingers, especially. So I ring bark it with my knife. Make sure I go all the way down to the hardwood. You'll be able to feel it because the knife stops pretty suddenly. Can't really go much further than that. Now, that's the top part. Now, the next bit was how far down do you go? I like to give it at least twice the thickness, maybe 3 times the thickness if I want to. So twice the thickness of the branch. So the branch is about yay thick, so I'll go, 2, maybe 2.5 or so, because that guarantees that the cambium will not heal over after I remove it and during the growing season. So the cambium won't heal, and guess what that means? It means that there's no possibility of this branch surviving without throwing out roots. So I'll have to throw roots out. So ring bark both sides. Now it's a matter of either use pliers to just squash that part, and it should just come off. Should just tear away. And you won't go past that point where you did it. The other way I do it also is using a knife to clean, to cut down and just peel off all the cambium. So once you've cleaned that up, make sure there's no cambium at all. You can scrape all the cambium even with the knife, just get it right off. Now, if it's up to you, you could use rooting hormone if you want on the top cut only, the top cut where the roots are going to grow. You can use rooting hormone. You don't have to. I've had success with both, so it doesn't really matter. And then you get some just plastic. You know, you get plastic in deliveries and wrapping and stuff like that. I just use that, cut out sometimes a bit of a, what's called a longer, not a square, more of a rectangular strip, I reckon. That works better. So this is just some rubbish plastic that you would get from deliveries and so on. Just cut it. You can use any plastic really. Use Glad Wrap if you really want. I tend to not use the, there's a gardening supply that's like a black ball. I tend not to use it because it's hard for me to get into the trees exactly where I want them to be. It's really hard for me to do that. So that's why I use this. This is going to be a bit tricky. We'll see how we go. Now, I always have the plastic. I have some kind of just leftover wire. If you've got any spare aluminium wire, just left over for me. I just use wire. You can use anything really. Now I'm going to kind of create a pocket using the plastic and a bit of wire. Now I'm going to try and secure the bottom of this pouch, I guess you call it. It's a matter of wrapping it around, trying to make a ball. Like a pouch. If that's the right word, pouch. It's almost like a cone shape when you finish. It's a bit of a cone at the moment, so you can put ice cream in a cone. That's the kind of shape you're looking for. Nice ice cream cone. You can see, you'll be able to see the clear, the ring bark branch. So then I tie this piece of wire just to the base, well below the cut points, and tie it with a bit of, just tighten it with my fingers. I can use my pliers if I wanted to. I might just tighten it with the pliers. Now you can use any kind of tightening you want. You can use anything. You can use cable ties if you want. I don't go that extreme. I just use leftover wire somewhere. Offcuts here and there. Just use some offcuts. Then in the meantime, what's happened is you've got your sphagnum moss soaking in water. So I've just got a bucket, put a whole bunch of sphagnum moss in there, chop it up a little bit small. I don't like the long parts, and it's just been soaking in there waiting for me to use. So I'll grab some, squeeze quite a bit of the water out. I don't want it too wet, and then I start applying it into the cone. I like to try and get it to about a tennis ball, a bit bigger than a tennis ball thickness, and then close up the plastic. So you got a nice ball finish. Now, what I do next is I just wrap this with black plastic. Now, it's just me. I found that the black plastic absorbs the sun better, keeps this warm, produces roots faster. So that's why I use it. Not because Some people say use black so it doesn't burn the roots, sun doesn't burn the roots. I don't think that's going to happen in Melbourne spring conditions, maybe in summer, but then by then you would have taken it off. But yeah, so wrap it in black plastic now. I just use little garbage bags, nothing special. It's pretty much there you have a nice big plastic ball on your tree. That's an air layer for this branch. Now I'll repeat it for this and on the other tree. So we'll see. So in the end, I took 2 air layers off the first tree, and I only decided on 2 on the other stronger tree. I just felt some of the foliage could be using a bit more time to develop a bit more, whereas the ones I took were really, really powerful and strong. So really that's the key. As long as you air layer healthy, strong growing foliage, then you're looking good. So I don't think there should be any issues with these 4. So there you go. Don't be scared. Air layer is a great way to propagate material and propagate quite safely in terms of success rate. So go for it. If you've got some stock like this, these trees will never really be bonsai. They're very straight and not really that good. So hate to say it, but yes, much more better to grow them, keep air and keep developing lots more nice stock from using better quality smaller trees that you can bend and twist and do some really crazy stuff with and grow on. So there you go, guys. Hope you are now more intrigued and wanting to do air layers. So these have been a great result. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.